Hi, today I'm going to rebuild the Rivera Primo Pro-Clutch I've got on my 77 shovelhead with this clutch pack, and I'm going to do a little how-to. Alright, the first thing we've got to do is open up the old clutch. It's going to have these little lock washers on it. So this is how I get these open myself. There's probably a better way to do it. You basically just have to get all the tabs flat so you can start unscrewing the mounting lugs. Alright, once we get all four of the lock washers flattened out, then we can open up the lugs. And you should find, if you're opening up a Pro Clutch that you're buying used or something you don't have the full history on, hopefully you'll find that all of these lugs come out really easy because you actually don't torque them down to any type of foot poundage. You just seat them on the bottom, and you don't want to torque them down at all. You use the lock washers to lock them because you don't want to strip the lugs that go into the clutch hub. Once you get all of these open, you can pull off the spring diaphragm, which is right here, and then clutch cover, and now you're ready to start pulling the plates out. And the last one is the fatter plate here, the fatter steel plate. Now when you're in here, it's a good idea to look at these clutch dogs and make sure there's no ridges worn in them, and also your clutch hub, make sure there's no ridges worn in that. If there are, you can usually, most clutches have rebuild kits where you can buy these clutch hubs separately and just take those out and put new ones in, or you can take your old ones out and just smooth them out with some sandpaper or emery cloth. Alright, for these clutch plates, these I bought, they came on the bike used when I bought it, so I don't know how many miles they've had on it before, and then I've put about 25,000 miles on them, which doesn't seem like that many miles, but they have some unusual wear patterns that I noticed when I took it apart for the problem I've been experiencing. The bike has been, when I let the clutch out in first gear, the bike has been lurching, and only when it's cold, but when it's cold it lurches, and it causes me to either have to really feather the clutch not to stall it, or it tries to pull the front wheel up and do a little pogo stick wheelie, which can be uncomfortable in traffic and tight areas. So I'm giving the new clutch pack a try, which we have right here. Alright, once you get the clutch plates unpacked, you want to put the fat steel plate in first, like we talked about. And then it alternates steel plates with I guess they would be graphite or something. I'm not sure what they're. Graphite coated steel.
That's a lot, isn't it?
This goes on. The diaphragm spring. Now when you put the lug cap bolts back on, it's a good idea to coat them in graphite anti-seize so that you don't have the problem like I talked about when I was taking them off, where they bind into the lugs and cause you to spin the lugs in the clutch hub. I'm not doing that with these ones because they still got a lot of anti-seize in them from a couple times ago when I took this clutch apart. And when you torque these on, you don't want to basically apply any pressure to them at all. You just want to seat them down so that they're barely, you'll feel when they hit their stop, and then you don't apply any torque above and beyond that. You alternate them so they'll go on evenly. Because like I said, you don't want to apply torque to the studs that go into the clutch hub.
Motorcycles kind of look funny.
There, that one stopped. That one stopped. That one stopped. That one stopped. Alright, so now that's all buttoned up, we just need to adjust the clutch. So what you want to do is loosen up this bolt here, that's going to be your locking bolt, and then you bring the clutch adjusting screw all the way in until it stops, then come back out a quarter of a turn, and then from there you tighten the adjusting the locking nut on it. Being careful not to change the adjustment. You do that. Putting in the new plates, you'll have to adjust the adjusting screw because they're a different width than the old plates were. Then you have to bend the locking washer back into place. Now it's done. Alright, so now that we've got the clutch buttoned up, it's time to start it up and see if it made any difference.
And this is what victory looks like. Actually, this is what victory looks like. Bam!